hits the same person twice in a row.
Right. But you have backstab as a basic move,
Okay.
which does have the option of giving you plus 1d6
That's kind of a lot.
for your damage. Yeah, and then I think it's a little bit over the top to have another 1d6 on top of that with your cheap shot here. Particularly since they both say backstab.
But cheap shot is when you backstab, add yet another. So cheap shot is used at the same time as any backstab, is what they're saying, I think. Like it's automatically tacked onto a backstab.
I'm gonna have to. There's two different rules for. There's two different move sets for the rogue.
Oh.
One which you use and one in which I saw at one point and saw that it had backstab. And said, "Oh, that looks like a cool move, and I'll give it to you for it," because it was part of that set by default as one of your starting moves.
Okay. Do you want me to remove my backstab, or do you want me to remove my backstab, or like my free backstab move or something?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, I think I can handle that.
Okay.
If I can remember how. Oh, edit. I bet. No. Modify. There we go. Okay.
All right. So, that's not thunder. Okay.
That sounds like a tea kettle.
It's a washing machine, a dryer.
That's creepy.
But this is starting.
No. Okay. Oh, by the way, we're coming to you 8 hours in the future.
Yeah. How's it turning out? Are we in thermonuclear warfare yet?
Unfortunately, yeah. Yeah. You only got 8 more hours left before catches up with you.
I've got 8 hours to, what do you call it? I don't know. I can't even think of the word. There was a word I'm thinking of. Carouse. Carouse wildly. I need to carouse wildly for 8 hours. Best 8 hours of my life.
Speaking of carousing, do we remember what we were doing last time?
I think we were escaping again.
Sort of. You were,
We had escaped and we were flying around fighting witches on the ship.
Yeah.
And we had kind of killed all of them except for one that turned into like a pile of frogs or beetles or something.
Yep.
And so we were fighting the frog pile.
Yep. And Raffin got turned into a frog, melded with the witch pile of froggy.
Yeah, and then learned how to make poison dart.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And then after a couple days of resting, Raffin turned back to a human, and the witch blob managed to make a new skin for herself, so she looks like a human again.
But we also stuck her in jail.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep. She's
good.
in jail in the back of the ship there.
All right. Let me reload as a player. That's
Sure.
gonna be my. I always forget to do that. Be right back. Ooh, that is fast. You loaded like instantly. The video did anyway.
Oh, cool. After a few days of resting, you guys had attracted the attention of the remainder of the slaves that managed to limp out of the mountains that they had traversed.
Mm-hmm.
And they offered you some payment to take them to Belfast.
That's right. That's right. I remember that too.
Yep. Okay, good. So we're all kind of caught up here. We got treasure, we got blah blah. Raffin dumped some of his pretty things into a chest to keep them safe.
Yep.
And okay. 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 Towards you guys give the prisoners a few more days to rest and recover themselves before they're all ready to travel back.
Mm-hmm.
Near the last day of that, Bertok, you're going to hear something patting at the goblin head mounted to the front of the ship.
Yeah. Oh, right. What is it doing?
Something is like batting at it.
I see that.
Nah.
I get it. Okay. Yeah. And peeking around the doorway. What the heck? I see it kind of wobble. Bat wobble. Like one of those punching bags, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Little bits of blood spraying out the sides. What the heck? I go out to investigate. What's going on here? As I step closer.
You'll see that on closer inspection that what is batting at the head is the floating cat chess.
Him again.
Hello, Bertok.
You again? What are you doing here? Why are you here? I already know what you're doing. You're being weird. Why are you here?
He rolls over onto his back so his belly's showing. I wanted to congratulate you on causing mischief to those goblins.
Congratulate us, eh?
Yes.
Are you one to reward such behavior? Are you one to cause such behavior? Or cause such events to occur?
I could be if the mood strikes, but at the moment I'm in a rewarding mood.
That's good to know. I have seen what you can do, that being evade attack, so I don't think I want to risk much else from you.
He'll right himself in the air and peer around a little bit and say, "Where's the lizard and the thief that was with you before?"
The lizard, we haven't. I don't know where he is.
By now, you're pretty sure he's either perished or wandering in the swamp.
Yeah. We had to leave him behind. It was quite necessary, I think. There was nothing we could do. By the time we escaped, we were running for our lives, and so it was kind of hopeless for him. He was in a hopeless situation. We had to leave him. As for the thief, he's back, just chilling, doing whatever, watching over a prisoner of ours. I think he has a thing for her now. I hope not.
Excuse me.
How about you? What have you been up to, weird floaty cat thing?
Oh, I've been to
Apart
so
from
many.
spying on us, as usual.
Oh, I've been up to all sorts of things, watching over various peoples and tormenting some of them, making friends with others. It's a wonderful life.
Okay. So, what are you here for? You said something about a reward?
Yes, I don't much like the so-called Dark One that these goblins pray to, and you guys managed to make the goblins annoyed and so mess up the Dark One's plans. So I did want to reward you with an offer to pick a card from my deck, and he pulls out from nowhere a deck of glowing golden cards.
This seems a little bit risky. I'm not... He will kind of think a moment. Actually, there isn't any sort of luck modifier. That'd be nice, though. He does have fairly good charisma.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just brainstorming here. Raffin has good charisma too. He'll take his. He'll be like, interesting. Well, I don't. What could hurt from pulling a card from a deck of cards?
Is Raffin there as well?
No, he's still in the back, studying poison dart venom.
Okay. Do you want to bring him into this, or?
No, it wouldn't make any sense. Well, actually, yeah. Bertok will go back to the back and kind of poke at Raffin. Raffin will be like, "What's going on?" And Bertok says, "That cat's back. He's giving us an offer. Apparently, we foiled one of his. Apparently, we foiled one of his enemy's plans in our last escapade, and he's offering us a reward of some sort. But I figure you might be the guy to kind of accept it." It's a basic. He's offering for us to pick a reward out of a couple, I think. That's my thought. And Raffin kind of raises his eyebrow, and he's like, "What do you mean, pick?" He's like, "It's basically pull a card from a deck, and you get what you get, I think." Oh, I can play a mean game of cards. I know, I have some tricks up my sleeve. He'll kind of wink, and Bertok's like, "Ooh, yeah, I think you'll be the best man for the job then." Raffin nods his head, and they both walk back to the front.
All right.
And hopefully the cat's still there when they get back.
Yep, the cat's still hovering there. he says that I'm going to offer a card to each of you.
Ooh, 2. Okay. Bertok seems kind of like, yeah. Good thing I went to grab Raffin, then we get double point. We get double the reward. And Raffin's like, yeah, cool. Then he notices the deck and his face falls. Oh.
Yeah, so you...
His face falls, his arms fall to his side, and 52 cards fall from his sleeves onto the deck. At which point he assumes everybody knew he was going to try to grift something out of his sleeve.
Yeah, you're going to recognize this deck as the legendary deck of many things.
Oh boy.
That has passed through many a hand.
Do you have your real one that I can pick from?
No, I don't, but I do have
okay.
one as a table here.
Oh, you made one.
Yes, I did.
I made one for the other one, but it's not here. With the graphics and anything, but it was from a terrible picture of all the cards laid out on a table. And so I basically cut and pasted every little tiny 100 pixel by 100 pixel graphic. And anyway.
Okay, so Chess will shuffle the deck and offer it and fan it out temptingly for you guys.
For detail, he shuffles the deck with a long, dexterous tongue. Like he curls it over and then...
Okay.
I don't know why I thought of that. That's a really weird picture now. I might need to make this for my mush. A cat that can shuffle a deck of cards with his tongue.
Okay, you can do that. and then disappears.
Then he fans him out with his tongue. Blah. Oh yuck. So the deck is floating in midair at the prow of the ship.
Yes. All glimmering and golden and pretty. Yeah.
Bertok raises his hand. He's like, you go first, Raffin. And Raffin's like, okay. At which point he reaches in, grabs, kind of runs his finger over the fan of cards, picks one and flicks it back toward him, and picks it up, but does not look at it.
Okay.
I got mine.
Raffin, this might be a good opportunity for a little sleight of hand if you wanted to try and take another card without Chess noticing.
Oh.
You do have something like a...
I don't... I picked the poisoner route, so I don't... I do have tricks of trade, pick locks, pockets, or disable traps. I roll plus dex. And if I can get a 10 plus, I do it with no problem. If I get a 7 to 9, you give me a choice between suspicion, danger, or cost.
Okay.
It seems about the most relevant one.
Yeah. Do you want to try to do that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Raffin, go ahead and do that. Dexterity. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you are gonna do it so subtly that
Yeah, he picks out a card and then nudges Bertok and says, check it out. Slides his fingers and 2 of them appear. Like, oh. And Bertok kind of like ducks and you be careful. It's no problem. I know what I'm doing.
Bertok?
Bertok just kind of like Okay, well, he picks one out of the middle of the deck.
Let's see what you got.
This is Cards of Chaos. Did you pull this up yet? Or do I need to pull it up myself?
I think I have it triggered to.
Oh, it's a rollable table.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. That's cool.
Okay.
That's Bertok's first, or Raffin's first.
Yep.
And his first card turns into a whatever this is. Gem, a golden jewel. He's like, hey, check it out. And then he turns his hand, kind of shuffles his fingers like this, and out rolls this star. He's like, hey, cool.
Cool.
All right.
So for the gem, do you want the gold or the magic item?
It would be nice to know what the magic item was.
Let's see, would you know ahead of time? An Orb of Scrying.
What's that do?
Well, it uses a wisdom roll to discern something that you specify. Then if you somewhat succeed, someone else is made aware of your presence.
So discern realities, kind of, basically.
Sort of.
So on a partial success, 7 to 9, someone is made aware of your attempt to discover information. It almost seems like a negative.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Not necessarily someone at that location, but someone somewhere is made aware of you or your surroundings.
Yeah, it seems like a. That said, this seems like a negative effect magical item. Like, I would rather just be able to discern realities, and if I fail or I partially succeed, I just get my choice, my one choice or whatever.
That works.
And nothing. No. And nothing negative happens.
True.
But since this is a magical item of negative effect, I would dare say possibly that this should be a requirement every time I discern realities. Like it is basically a cursed item. That would.
Oh.
Yeah. So I have to use it. That's my thought. Not knowing anything about magic, Raffin is going to stick this in his pocket. And there, he is under its effects. And because it's an orb and magic and all that, I'm just going to give it 0 weight.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of dealing with his weight problem. Or
weight problem.
his carrying issues, his heavy lifting problems. He has no upper body strength. Go figure. That's a lot of XP. Wait a minute. So you also said this star relic. I basically just add one to anything.
Any stat, yep.
Any stat or any stat modifier.
Any stat modifier, yep.
That's better for me. That's worse for my math because I'm never going to remember to use it.
Right.
At any time?
I believe anytime you would use that.
Any stat I want. So I just basically add one every single time. Is the
Every
idea.
time you use it, yep.
Wow.
I'm going to add it to your description so we might remember.
Okay. I added it to my inventory and just put a tag list of what in the world it does.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're saying Jester? Oh, Jester is just a straight 10 XP right now for Bertok.
Yep, for Bertok.
Well, let's take a look at his. I like this. XP 10. Yeah, that's not going to get him very far. Did we add up XP from last time?
I don't recall. Possibly not.
I don't even remember. Because we did do a lot of killing, as I recall.
Yes.
And I think I posted a forum post on all the failed rolls.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
And I added my own notes about. Okay.
Oh, I just forgot something. I forgot to edit up my Twitch information.
Oh.
For this particular stream. So it thinks we're playing like Bit Trip Runner or something. Not Bit Trip Runner, some other game I was playing a couple weeks ago.
Okay, it looks like +3 to Bertok and +2 to Raffin for last session.
Okay, I will just add those. 4, 5, 6. So Raffin's at 6 total, Bertok's at 3 total.
Okay.
And I need my Firefox back because I need to fix this stream. Kind of actually
how it works out. I would say that NIP right now is really just gunning for Team Liquid's title of toying with the hearts of their fans. So if NIP does win this, don't be surprised to see them drop the first 2 rounds and come back in a reverse sweep, because that has been what NIP has been doing all day long.
They are indeed, but you know what? They made it here.
I really, really, really don't like slow websites. But they all want to be slow right now. Quit out of my mush. Close. Quit out of Outlook. Dashboard.
I think for Raffin's star thing, it's an inherent +1 to 1 stat.
Okay.
So I think you should have to pick 1 stat score.
Gotcha. Okay. That's fine. I kind of wondered. It's kind of generous if you let me pick any stat. What session is this? 14?
Number 14, yes.
Wow. That's cool. Refresh and make sure. Well, 10 XP would give him an instant level.
Ooh.
Fluff a little bit.
Would that bump him over into the next level of moves?
Would it? Ooh, if that's a level 6, then maybe. Yes, it would. That's perfect. I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the 12 or the 10. So if I go to 12, that's basically 0 level 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 1 XP right now.
Cool. I'm level 6. Awesome.
Now then, one thing I don't have is my
Oh, your moves.
yeah, I keep misplacing them. I have all my D&D stuff. But I, for some reason, cannot find Dungeon World on my Google Drive anymore. Let's see. Dungeon World. Oh, there's the Deck of Many Things graphics, if you want it.
Ooh.
I found all my folder of stuff. I'll stick it in here. But let me just look up Dungeon World racial. Additional race moves. I don't want additional race moves. SRB. Okay, here we go. Fighter. Fighter? Yeah.
Yes.
Bend bars, lift gates, bonds, heirloom, advanced moves. That's different. Ooh, this site doesn't do the 6 through 12 split.
Really?
It's the, yeah. It has starting moves and advanced moves level 2 to 5. But it looks like it's putting everything in that, and that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Player sheets. That's what I need. Ah, there it is. The immolator. Simon, come over and you can be on Twitch with me and Sean. I'll bet you'll love that. It's public, it's fun, it's awesome. You're not the paranoid type, are you? The Druid, the fighter. Okay, starting moves. Yeah, here's 6 to 10. Okay. Bloodthirsty replaces Merciless, but deals 1d8 damage. I think I have Merciless.
You do have Merciless, and if you take that new move, the
I
plus
replace
one.
it.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me just read through the rest. Someone who will live and someone who will die. Cool. Through Death's Eyes. I like that one. It seems kind of powerful. Maybe a bit too powerful. Enter combat on a 10+, hold 2, hold 1, spend hold to make eye contact with an NPC who freezes. So I basically get basilisk eyes. Which is cool. I could get my multi-class, which is always cool, but not really. It's kind of a little bit overrated, I think. Mostly because Dungeon World moves are kind of boring. They're not as statistic friendly. Let your armor take the brunt of your damage. Taste of blood. Replaces scent of blood. Oh, so it's like bloodthirsty. Steel hide. Superior warrior. I'm actually going to take Evil Eye.
Alright.
It seems like the most aligned thing that he would do or be able to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is way cooler than Seeing Red, which it replaces. Because that's just a little, like I said, it's a boring move that I can't ever think would be useful. But anyways. Alright. Done.
Alright, cool. So the...
Our gifts manifest themselves. The cards flare and disappear.
Just shuffles his deck of cards again and fades away.
The deck of cards reappears. Or rather, the deck of cards goes from being a fan like this to pulling up and becoming his big old fat grin. And so he basically just pulled his teeth. And he's like, "Ha ha! Good choice. I feel 3 teeth missing instead of 2. That was a smart one there." He winks to the thief. And then punishes him for cheating. Maybe.
Maybe at a later date, yeah. Okay. Chess fades away into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
Pop. Wish we could have animations.
Yeah, me too.
I wonder. Oh, I wonder. Can you pull an animated GIF in here?
No, we tried that before.
I thought we might have.
Yeah.
Are we floating right now? Are we airborne?
You're airborne, but the anchor's dropped, so
Okay.
you're hovering a few feet above the ground.
All right. What was it the Raffin just got? I don't remember.
Orb of Scrying.
Oh, scrying. I thought you said scribing, and I'm like, scribing? What does that have to do with? Okay. So, I'm trying to also look at Raffin's modifier.
Yep.
I think I do want to give him like 1 strength, +1 to strength.
Okay.
Just to strength. Just because that's like the thing he always needs, since he has no upper body strength to carry anything.
Alright, you can carry 1 more weight. That's good.
Oh,
And his
yeah, I do need to add 1 to Bertok's stats as well.
true.
He'll take wisdom. That'll give him at least 1 +1 to wisdom, since he's right there. All right. He has grown wiser. Yeah, Raffin, with his newfound abilities, who isn't finding them very useful at the moment, is going to wander back to the back cargo bay, sit down on a crate, and resume poking things, like poking rats with his poison knife to see them freeze. They'll paralyze and stuff. And then he'll yell back up the side of the ship, "Hey, Bertok, I can do your evil eye thing too, only with a knife." And he pokes another rat, and it's like...
Oh, God.
And then he walks up to the spherical cage, and he pokes Yaga through it. And she's like, "Ah!" Screeching and croaking.
Yaga gives Raffin an evil eye and moves to the far corner of the cage where he can't poke her.
Right. At which point he sneaks around to the backside and pokes her in the middle of the back.
Okay. She lies poisoned on the bottom of the cage.
"This is fun," he says to himself.
when I get out of here, I'm gonna skin you and eat your bones.
Pick my teeth with your bone. Yeah. I can pick your teeth with something else, he says, holding up his poison dagger. But he doesn't go any further. He thinks it wise he better not keep antagonizing me like this. At least not right now.
My sisters will find this ship again, and they'll tear it apart.
Your sisters are dead, he says.
They're not dead.
What? Do frogs not splat when they fall thousands of feet?
That's a good point.
Frogs don't bounce. Even the spherical ones, like, yeah. Anyway.
Did you watch that? Spherical.
Yes. His entire channel is full of that. Like, did you watch his with the giraffe trying to drink from the muddy puddle in the middle of the Sahara Desert, or the savannah? The savannah. He's trying to get down to the water, and so he just basically kicks his back feet up and is balancing on his front hooves, and just. Oh shoot! I'm gonna get going real fast. I'll be right. You're back.
Hello again.
Sorry about that. I have the same issues you had with your laptop, where the power connection is basically not great. Except it's not actually the same problem. The problem is my battery is simply not going to ever take a charge again. And so every time my power cord falls out or it gets pulled out, my computer freaks out and shuts off. Like
no.
Oh, we're down below 5%. We're going to shut down now. Without asking you. So I'm like, I can't even plug it back in time. It will just keep going with its shutdown process.
Wow.
Yeah. Let me switch to player mode. Be right back. There we go.
Okay, great. Agatha is going to wander out onto the front deck here with Bertok and say somewhat privately to him that she was thinking that those goblins seemed to be more organized than most goblins that she has heard about. And she was wondering if he thought so as well.
I don't know. The thing the cat told me, though, was that they are serving this Dark One being. And I've never heard of goblins having any sort of deity. And I half wonder if it's a new thing. But yeah, you might be right. As them worshipping anything is kind of not something I've found common.
Yeah, maybe this Dark One is organizing them somehow.
That's my thought. Well, perhaps we need to start researching this.
I mean, they don't need those big catapults just for marauding little towns like mine.
Right.
Anyway, I came out here to see if there was any items or whatever I could try to identify
Okay.
for you.
I don't have any items on me that I particularly need identifying, I don't think. Do I?
What's Raffin got? Bertok.
Vial of Speak to Dead. Witch Eye. Oh, this Witch Eye, yeah. What in the world? I totally looted this from the corpse of one of those things we had flying around us.
Oh, the hags. Give me
Yeah.
the shivers.
They dropped an eyeball, and I'm like, this is kind of gross, squishy little. Yeah. What is it? Is there any specific use for them, or should I just chuck it over the side and forget about it?
No, hag eyes are very interesting, actually. If you hold it in your hand, hags can supposedly see magical things. And if you hold this in your hand and kind of scan an object with it, you can sort of tell if it's magical or not.
Oh, cool.
And then if you have an empty eye socket, you could plant eye in your...
That's weird.
But very few people ever do that.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's good to know.
Did you say they had a vial of Speak to Dead?
I do, yes.
Oh.
Not that I have anybody that I... Well, actually I might, but... Yeah, I do, actually. And I assume it does exactly what I think it does.
Yeah, it brings back the spirit of whoever's corpse you sprinkle it with. And as
so I
long
have
as
to
it
have
has...
I have to have
What?
their corpse in order to work it.
The corpse has to at least have a head.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't actually know if the corpse is even necessary as long as the head is there.
Okay, that could be fun.
I guess as long as they
hey! I have an idea.
What?
An idea. He strides over to the very front of the ship, turns his vial, pulls it out first, turns it, and just drops a few drops on that goblin head. Let's see what happens, he says, because I have questions.
The jaw will start to move and the eyes will open up. Who summoned me?
Who is the Dark One? He says in a very firm and authoritative tone. Tell me what you know. You are already dead. There's nothing to lose.
I must answer truthfully. The Dark One came to our camp many years ago and said that he needed innocence, so we obtained them for this Dark One. Then he vanished. He did teach us the basics of strategy and a little bit about magic before he left.
Bertok looks over to Agatha and, yeah, there we go. That's our answer. And she's like,
and then after some time of experimenting on our own, we tried to summon summoned some advice from another plane, and the Dark One was who we managed to summon. So, somewhere during the Interium, if he wasn't a deity or a spirit or whatever beforehand, he was one at that point.
I see.
So he has been advising us since then.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. Well, I always want to know more, but I don't know what I want to know.
Okay, the head will just hang there waiting for your other 2 questions.
Oh, I have 2? Oh.
3 questions, yep.
I see. Bertok thinks a moment. And then says, we tried to attack the shrine in the fortress, and it swallowed every weapon we threw at it. And then it attempted to kill us as a result by setting us into confusion or something like that. How do we go about... Oh, no, nothing else I really wanted to know. How do we go about defeating your shrine?
Oh, that shrine was not ours, actually. That was there when we came upon that fortress. It is as old as that fortress itself, so I don't know how to defeat that.
I see. Okay. He will think for a moment, turn to Agatha and say, do you have anything to ask the thing? I have nothing. He holds up a hand and says, I have a question. Who's in charge now that you're dead?
That would be Baglier, the chieftain of the Black Hand tribe.
Okay. Who's next on our hit list?
And the head will cease moving, and the eyes will close, and it will stiffen with rigor mortis.
Okay. All right. How many charges does this thing have?
4, I think. So 3 left.
All right. All right.
Cool. Okay, cool. Agatha will ponder what you guys have learned from the head. It's a good thing you guys came, Bertok, because otherwise those slaves would never have gotten free, and I would be stuck in that tiny little village.
Yeah.
All by myself.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I don't think my partner really could care less about helping anybody along the way. But I figure if we can do something while we're going about whatever mission we decide to go about doing, maybe we'll be smiled favorably upon by some deity sometime in the future. Can't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of gives a compliment. Kind of, what is that called when you... What's that called when you take a compliment and you kind of you kind of minimize it or something? You're like, yeah, it was nothing. It's fine.
Yeah, I know that's a term, but I can't think of it at the moment.
Anyway, that's what he does to her compliment. So.
Okay. She kind of pats you on the head or shoulder. Okay. The former slaves are going to crowd into the ship. And Boffin, not being familiar with who these people are, is going to kind of demand that they be put down in the bottom of half of the ship.
Maybe put down.
Which I think is going to mean that the treasure here is going to get moved up. It's going to get moved up. There we go.
As to your corners.
Oh no, not the corners. Too much stuff in the way. Okay, there we go. Corner 1. Corner 2. Okay. And you guys set sail for... Set sail for Belfast. Which you guys have been to before.
Yes.
But along the way, there's a thunderstorm that you guys bravely brave through. Mm-hmm. Several of your barrels of oil are tossed about and shattered during the thunderstorm and lightning and wind and all that. But eventually,
at which Bertok is like, "Ooh, female oil wrestling in the cargo hold. Let's go for this." He kind of thinks about this one evening on his cot, but doesn't voice this aloud. Anyway. Foxy boxing and female oil wrestling. These are the what does Homer say? Women should stick to jobs that women are good at, such as foxy boxing and female oil wrestling. This is when Marge gets a job as a police officer.
She got a job as a police officer?
Yeah, for like a week.
Oh.
She found the thrill of crime fighting was super awesome.
Okay. Alright. Through the thunderstorm, through the slaves moaning and groaning in the hold of the ship.
Through the vomit and oil sludge that has collected at the bottom.
That sounds lovely.
It does.
The cook trying to find enough food to feed everyone.
Only to have them all puke it back up.
Yeah. You guys manage at last to make it back to... I know I have Belfast. There's Belfast. Whee. Belfast.
Hey, very cool. I need to zoom out. So I can only see...
Yeah.
Oh, it is supposed to be the little three-cornered thingy.
There we go. Belfast. Now you guys are coming from the east this time, because... yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's a cool map, too.
Thank you. Can you see the names on the places? I always forget about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, good.
I'm not zoomed in enough to actually read them, but yeah, I can see them.
Right. Okay.
Apparently, the only two places of significance are Harry's Tavern and a hat shop.
Yeah, those are the only two places you guys have found so far.
Okay. I assume we basically want to land at the in this field outside. We're here, everyone! We call down into the hold of the ship, and as it sets down on the ground. Everybody proceed in orderly fashion down our gangplank. Thanks for flying with crazy commie airlines. We hope you'll pick us again in the future. We hope the turbulence wasn't too much for you. And some of the passengers are weakly. That's an understatement.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What looks to be the captain of the guards will peer out from the gates here and notice the swarm of ragged slaves coming to the gates, and come down to see what in the world is going on out here. She will march over to you guys and say, "What are you doing here? Why are you dropping off these people? You look like pirates."
We are, but we're dropping these people off because we rescued them from a goblin camp. They were slaves there, and they are now your refugees. Thank you, Belfast. You've been a great audience. At which Raffin turns and marches back up the gangplank. Bertok's like, sorry, he's a little bit overly assuming like this. We rescued these people. Would you be willing to take them in? I'm sure they'll be able to work for wages, pay for things that they need, etc. once they're back on their feet. What he says is true. They have been enslaved this entire time, so.
That's true.
What the heck is a South Park kid doing there?
Oh, I was looking for a monk, and sorry.
I like it.
There.
South
There's
Park's
a better South Park character.
Stick of truth. I like it. Okay.
The captain of the guard will still kind of think you look a little suspicious. You're probably loaded down with loot, and these were your prisoners, and now you just want to off them off on us. I see how it is.
And yet we ask no money for prisoners. We ask no money because we're not slavers. Will you take them? He says. Is there a ministry of, I don't know, whatever you call that, immigration into your fine, more than capable city?
One of the items dangling from the captain's sash is a small medallion. However, a medallion with a lighthouse on it.
Okay.
Oh, but Raffin's back on this ship.
He is. I realized that too.
Okay. Coming down out of the gates to see what the ruckus about is as well, will be another lady dressed in white robes. That will smile soothingly at the crowd of slaves, and say that the Tower of the Sun will be happy to take on these poor mistreated slaves until they can get back on their feet. So she will introduce herself as Hanesta.
All right. Well, Hanesta, we are extremely happy, says Bertok, that you are willing to take these people in. Quite frankly, we can't be carting them all over the countryside, and of course we did agree to bring them here. We suggested a couple other places, but they disagreed and thought Belfast was their best chance at getting a restart on life, really. So, thank you for your kind, generous offer of hospitality toward them. Yeah.
It's the least we can do for these poor people.
Do you have any information on the goblins, speaking of this? Because they were basically enslaved by the goblins, and yeah, we've had our fair share of dealings with them by now, but we're no closer to actually finding resolution in taking care of them once and for all.
We have heard rumors that people have disappeared to goblins, but we haven't necessarily we haven't heard that it was one particular band that was doing it, or that they had any greater plans. Malthea here will kind of perk up a little bit at a possible goblin horde with plans in the area, and say that, well, if you can offer any possible idea of their numbers or strategies that they might be using, or where they plan to attack.
We can. He tries to rack his memory on just how many he would estimate are in the camp. I'm not sure. I personally am not sure how many are in the camp, but I'm sure Bertok kind of remembers.
There seems to be between 300 to 400 fighting capable goblins.
Okay, he relays this to Malthea, and then says, and strategies, we don't really know concrete information on their strategy. What we do know, however, through a fairly reliable source, is that they do have a strategy at all, rather than just chasing you down and killing you, or chasing you down and enslaving you. They actually have learned of logistics and strategizing and such, and so they are actually capable at reasonable battle, and not just shattered bands of little goblins here and there. They're actually amassing, which is not a good thing, I suppose, but it's probably very useful to know this.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much for that. I mean, certainly 300 goblins is scary, but 300 organized goblins is much worse. The walls here can hold back 300 goblins easily, but 300 goblins with a strategy.
Exactly what my thought was, too.
Yeah.
Says.
Hanesta will want to give you guys a bag of 400 gold for returning the slaves here.
Okay.
To reward your good deeds.
Mm-hmm.
And Malthea, after a moment, will kind of back off her earlier bluster about what are you guys doing here, and give you an additional 200 gold for the information that you relayed about the goblins.
Okay. Cool. Raffin takes all bags of gold, passes it to one of the guys, one of the engineers for the ship, and shoos him off to go up to deliver this to their storage chests. Oh yes. I don't know. Yeah.
This would be a good time to carouse if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, it would be. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Sitting up. Bertok walks back to the ship and yells up the gangplank, "Drinks are on me, boys! We have more money to go around." At which case there is a raucous cheer from within the bowels of the ship, and engineers and animated people come tumbling down the gangplank. And they start singing bar songs, tavern music.
Do you want to go back to Harry's Tavern that you know about, or try to find another place?
Harry's Tavern was a little bit dark, wasn't it? Or was it cheery? I thought that Harry was like the guy that was like, I don't know, what am I doing here?
Harry's was kind of dour, and
Yeah, we want to have fun tonight, so let's go to the fun one.
Okay, there's another really fun one that you found called the Stars and Sparkles.
Yay! Well, all of the shipmates go in and start, like, sweeping all the barmaid wenches and dancing them around the room. And there's shrieks and the usual carousing.
Yep, there's more drinks.
Tittering giggles as some of the wenches are thusly groped and fondled. The usual thingy. Bertok doesn't actually look for any, surprisingly, himself.
Aww,
but decides to just oversee everybody and make sure everybody continues having a good time. He's gonna play. He's playing host.
Lovely. Yeah, the bartender is also going to try to keep things in order as much as possible. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Do you guys want to officially carouse?
Yeah, let's do that. What in the world? Special. Roll plus coin. Okay.
So, right, with carousing, you can boost your chances by spending more gold.
Okay.
But there's a minimum. There's a minimum of 100 gold.
Yeah. So 400
I think for the whole
we give
group.
it +3. And yeah. I don't know. I'll pay 2 times, 1 for each guy.
Okay. Whew, that's gonna be a raucous party.
Yeah, well, they just got paid big money, and I was just wondering how in the world can we spend this money that we keep collecting but not using. So, for each person, I'm going to tack on an extra 200.
Wow.
So a +2 for both rolls. At which point I will subtract 300. 407 for Raffin. And 407 for Bertok. And 2d6 plus 2. This is Bertok's roll. This is Raffin's roll. Woo! Raffin gets the 3. Bertok just gets 1, I think. Right?
Yes, unfortunately.
It's fine. I'm happy to save you the trouble on having to come up with 3 for both of them. Okay. And then... So 3 for Raffin. Because I don't want to make any decisions. For Bertok... For Bertok, we're going to pick befriending a useful NPC.
All right.
And for Raffin, he will hear 2 rumors and 1 bit of useful information.
2 rumors, 1 bit of useful information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can do that. Okay, Bertok is a useful person.
Mm-hmm.
NPC.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you're actually really gonna get on with Malthea as far as your hatred of goblins.
Nice.
Between the 2 of you. So she is in a moment of drunken courage. Pledge that she and 2 of her best guards are at your call whenever you need them to fight against the goblins. And then she's gonna collapse.
No. And then she says, "Oh, I'd even be at your beck and call right now." Handsome little halfling. I was never attracted to smaller men, but you are quite the formidable. Yeah.
And for your for your entanglement, Raffin, Bertok, sorry, Bertok. Where is Bertok? When you wake up in the morning, your flail has mysteriously vanished. No. Your yeah, your roll of salamander skin has vanished.
Oh man!
During
What the heck is that thing? He yells. Oh, my head.
Okay,
If you had stolen his flail, I'm sure it would have talked to him and told him where it was. Sort of like Krang from Color of Magic. It's a talking flail. Or at least telepathic to him.
Oh, speaking of which, isn't your weapon talkable now? Can't you consult your weapon as your level 5 move? Heirloom, when you consult the spirits that reside within your signature weapon.
Yes, they can. Oh, wow. I had totally forgotten about that. That's cool, though. Anyway.
Yeah.
You can have my salamander skin, though. For now.
Yep, salamander skin vanished among the bedrolls and so forth. Okay. As for Raffin, 2 rumors and something information. Something interesting?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, rumor number 1. There is someone wealthy who is looking for a airship to do something very discreet and under the radar.
I'm on top of that, he says in a high-pitched voice. A high-pitched, thoughtful voice.
That comes from...
This.
Yep. 2 people whispering in the corner, Raffin leaning over. What's that? Yeah. Okay. Rumor number 2.
Let me play this out, though. He leans over and surreptitiously drops, like, a napkin. And he's like, "Oh, excuse me," and very deliberately bends down to pick it up from under their table and then stands up and whispers to one of them, "Meet me outside in the morning. We may be able to take care of that." And then scampers off. He's not going to tell Bertok. Bertok will be just blind to this little transaction he's trying to set up. So.
Yeah. Rumor number 2. The auction house at the auction house in town is rumored to be selling some very interesting items over the next day. Okay. So it might be good to check them out.
All right.
And something useful. Something useful. Something that's directly useful.
Useful information.
Okay.
Not necessarily, not just a rumor.
Right. Okay. Yeah, Raffin is going to be showing off his remaining salamander eggs. and one seedy little individual is going to say that, hey, if you can time it right, you could actually come up with more eggs than you started with. So you can essentially breed eggs if you put those in a fire, let them grow bigger, and then kill the salamanders, of course. There's a chance that some of them might have more eggs inside them. So...
Freaky, he says. Well,
it's dangerous. Dangerous work. But
it's dangerous
and
right. Expensive because I've only got the 2, but it might be worth a shot. Is this just something you've heard, or have you actually done it?
I used to work with a guy that did it once upon a time. Made a fair business out of it, too.
Wow.
But, of course, his house caught on fire one time, and it all exploded into smithereens. Mm-hmm. So, but for the time it was good. Yes.
What is a smithereen?
It's about that big.
It's an Enoch, Mr. Smithers. All right, cool. Yeah. Raffin walks back to that table where those 2 people are talking, and he leans over and says, "The shop, whatever shop that is, I'll meet you there in the morning."
To which 2 people? Sorry.
The 2 people that were wanting to do some smuggling. He says, "Meet me outside of the shop, and we'll talk business. Perhaps I can assist you with your little operation, maybe?" And he tilts his head and then kind of walks away.
What
is that?
Yeah. The two people that...
Yeah, that were sitting there, that he overheard.
Okay. I gotcha. All right. They will look up and kind of give Raffin the secret nod, like, okay. And then they'll go back to their drinks as if nothing happened. Getting on towards like the 2 a.m. hour. Mm-hmm. The party is still kind of going on. The bartender's leaning on the bars, thinking that people should go to sleep now.
Right.
I really want to do this. Okay, yeah. There's going to be a scream from higher up on the bridge. This whole city is built on 3 bridges. Mm-hmm. So there's a bunch of stuff higher than you guys on the more towards the center is higher up. So,
got it.
You're going to hear a yell from up above you guys and a horse's neigh. And then the rush of wheels down the street and a crash as something heavy runs smack into the front of your inn.
So suddenly the shutters rattle and everybody wakes up.
Yeah. The partiers will run to the windows, and there's a huge cart bashed in front of the door, holding it shut.
Okay. Yeah. Bertok who has long since gone to bed since he didn't want to carouse very much tonight, muscles his way through the crowd and bursts out the front exclaiming, "What in the world's going on? We're trying to get some sleep." Oh, what happened here?
A couple strong guys are trying to muscle the door open with their shoulders, but they're not seeming to have very much luck at it. One of them says, "There's a cart that ran out of control and it's blocking the door."
Bertok runs over to the nearest window, crashes his flail through the window, and then climbs out to see what he can do from the outside.
All right, cool. Yeah, from the outside, the cart is sort of tilted, kind of upwards at the wall here. So if you can get a good grip on it and pull up the hill backwards, it would probably.
Yeah. Okay. He's like, "I got some experience with this. You two over here, you two over there. Turn those horses around. We're gonna haul this thing out of here."
Couple men leap from the window after you and obey your commands as they clear stuff away.
Right. And at some point, I imagine the cart is going to be shoved out of the way of the door, and the door is pulled back open.
Make a strength check.
All right, I can do that.
Nice. Yeah, you're gonna have no problem whatsoever moving that cart back out of the way. Everybody will cheer from the windows. The strong men will clap you on the back, and they'll give you some gold in response to your actions and bravery and helping them get out of the way.
Okay. He walks up to the constable, who is riding a horse down the street, and says, "Oh, over here, sir. We've got the thing under control. I have no idea why, but it crashed into the side of the tavern. We're just clearing up. Hopefully we didn't make too much noise doing it. Hopefully."
Well, no, there was a complaint of a crash, but afterwards, yeah. Thank you guys so much for getting the thing out of the way yourselves. That's awesome.
Any idea what happened here? I don't know. We're just clearing up. We don't even know where the driver of this thing is. At which point he appears in to see if the driver has been squished between the floorboards of some part of the cart.
Yeah, coming out of the night gloom and the mist, a figure will come running down the hill, panting after his cart. Oh, thank God. You got me caught out of the way. I'm so happy. My horse just ran off before I could get it hitched to him, and then the cart took off down the hill, and I couldn't stop it.
Ran off? How does a horse detach itself from a cart and then run off?
It was a strong horse.
Wow. I wish I had a horse like that, Bertok says under his breath. Okay, well, do you need help getting the horse back? I don't know. I'm feeling fairly benevolent tonight for some weird reason.
No, I'll get the beast under control and then I'll bring it back down here and harness it up. Like it should be harnessed.
Okay, well,
They can't roll any farther now.
The constable's like, yeah, you do that, else I'll have to bring you in for disturbing the peace.
The barkeep will finally limp out the door and peer around, make sure everything is okay. And in the early morning light, I guess there's no early morning light. In the early morning of the dark, you guys will suddenly notice as the barkeep peers upwards in horror that there is a red comet blazing in the heavens above you.
Ooh, that doesn't look good. Bertok stares upward. What do I know about this?
Bertok, your customs about this comet is just to call it the Red Comet. But
the Red Comet, the Red Comet. It's the Red Comet, everybody says in a hushed whisper.
But among the people here, this is known as the Dragon's Eye.
The Dragon's Eye? Oh, the Dragon's Eye. And Bertok looks over. It's just the Red Comet, he says. I've known about this for years. Oh, it's the Dragon's Eye. It's much worse than you think, says everybody else. I don't know. What am I doing? Do I need to make my intelligence roll? What do I know about this?
Sure. You can make an intelligence check about this red comet.
Meanwhile, snore from the balcony as Raffin sleeps on.
Okay. So, as a spout lore, this red comet or dragon's eye is associated with times of great strife and warfare. And every time it appears, so the folklore says, there is great war impending on the horizon.
Okay. Yeah, Bertok's not going to react so flippantly about this. In reality, he will grow solemn and be like, oh, cat. Which cat is that? Is that Fluffy or is that the unnamed cat?
Where?
It's probably both.
Yeah. I guess the food dish is empty again. The barkeep is gonna mumble that he hasn't seen the red comet since 16 years ago.
That is not good. Well, I would not have put it past the cosmos for knowing about our little infraction up in the goblin camp and the fact that they are amassing as they are. It is no wonder, even though I am myself not a superstitious man or hobbit, it kind of makes sense, I guess, says Bertok. Some of the more, I don't know, people are like, oh, freak out, oh.
Yeah, well, on the plus side, the last time it was blazing up in the heavens, it didn't affect us here in Belfast, so perhaps we'll be lucky this time and it won't affect us again this time. Hopefully.
Hopefully, but you can't take your chances, says Bertok. Those goblins, they sure do know how to get around.
Yeah, I'm afraid so, my lord. And
Millard.
the various bells in Belfast will start to ring the 2 a.m. hour.
2 o'clock and all's well.
Oh, except for the red comet, yeah.
Except for the red comet. At which point the city as a whole will start screaming in terror.
Calm down now, calm down. Tain't nothing but a red comet. Calm down. Okay.
Meanwhile, Raffin has roused himself, and unbeknownst to everyone else, has decided to sneak out and make his way down to that one shop at 3 in the morning to meet his contact for said smuggling job.
Cool. Let me find out what I call that place.
Borgin and Burke's number 2. No. Borgin and Burke's, our Belfast store. As opposed to the Tyrium chapter of Borgin and Burke's.
The shop that they mentioned that you could find them at was Borgia and Bogwaters, which is a small...
Which is a small play on words to the... Yes, I get it. Thank you.
Yeah, small little shack-like shop off in the corner there. Easy to miss if you don't know where it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you will greet those, you will approach, and those 2 individuals will be lurking outside as if waiting for you.
Okay.
They will hail your approach. Well, no, I guess they won't.
No,
They'll kind of
Raffin will spot them a bit of ways off, and he will sneak around the building and come up beside them and say, "I'm here," and they'll give a jump. "See, I'm better than you think," he says.
The taller one will grip you by the throat and hold a knife to your neck before the other one says, No, we met him before, remember? Oh, right. And he will back off and let you down.
He will back off and let me down.
Yeah.
Realizing only afterward that Raffin has had his own dagger sliding across the belly of this guy. Just gliding lightly, not even going to hurt. And he says, "You would have tried anything and you would have been dead."
This one's not easy to surprise. Good, that's what we need. Yeah. Well,
Need, eh? What is it that you need? He says.
Not us per se, but someone in the glorious port of Delgar needs an airship that can travel long distances and be very quiet and sneaky to investigate a few places of interest. Something very powerful has come up, and if you can, and if they can, if there is an airship that can help our patron out, they will all benefit immensely from the discovery if they manage to find it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
We don't really know anything more than that, just that there's something very interesting has come up, and our patron needs an airship that can travel long distances in order to fulfill the interesting thing to the fullest.
I see. Yeah, we might have to. I think we might be able to do business, because I have procured myself an airship of such a magnitude as you require. And I think that, well, I'm traveling with a couple companions, and I don't know that they need to know about any of this. I am sure I could pull such a thing off, by myself even, so there should be no betrayal of confidence in this matter. If you will just let me know what you need surveyed, I would be maybe even happy to oblige.
Okay, very well. Yes, if you have an airship that can do that, then yes, by all means.
You know, the first question should have been, "You're not a cop, are you?" But anyway, yeah, okay. How much are you willing to pay for such a service? He asked.
Oh. Oh, well, if this succeeds, apparently we will all be wealthy beyond our imagining, so.
Yes, but what can you promise me at the front? I don't work for free, even if it's unsuccessful. I highly doubt it would be unsuccessful, but in that rare event that it was, how would I be compensated, sir?
Oh, all of your remains would be put into the best caskets.
Oh, so it's that kind of a risk, he says, thumbing his chin thoughtfully.
Our patron would be willing to pay in advance 1,500 gold for your.
I like this number. He looks over at nothing quite thoughtfully.
And here, as a token of goodwill, is 500 gold, just for to prove that we are upright people here. We're not shady at all.
I think he thinks a little harder.
With the remainder of the 1,000 to be given to you, if you contact our patron in Delgar. And she approves of your ship and so forth.
I believe we have a deal, Raffin says. Do you have any sort of notice that I am owed 1,000 gold pieces upon my arrival at Delgar?
We will communicate with our patron, and she will have the remainder.
I would prefer something in writing, a token, not the token of 500 gold, for that I could spend at our next stop, but some sort of token that I am owed $1,000. Or 1,000 gold pieces.
The two will mutter back and forth for a moment. And then one of them will turn around, the other one will use their back to scroll on a piece of paper and hand it to you. And the paper says that the bearer of this is owed 1,000 gold upon approval of the airship and so forth.
Excellent. He
and
reads it over. Not being very literate, he reads it over and kind of nods and sees the two signatures at the bottom. Yeah, I think we can do business then. What is it you want me to look for then? Or would your patron tell me once I finally got to that?
Okay. We don't actually know what it is. The patron will have to explain.
Oh, okay.
But the seal there on that paper is the Blackadder family. So look for the Blackadder family when you get to Delgar.
Got it.
Delgar.
Yeah. Excellent. I think we will be in contact later. Raffin takes two small glances from one side and the other, and then slips into the shadows.
One of the two will mutter that he's a slippery one, isn't he? As you disappear into the shadows.
Raffin totally heard that.
Okay, do you want to keep going, or do you want to pause here?
It looks like a good pausing point, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Alright. Cool.
Oh, man, that was a good one, too.
Yeah. Not much combat, but it was nice to get some rewards in there and so forth.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I probably should just stop the screen. And then you can point your laptop at Simon and his cats. Or